Hello, everybody. Did you know that mangoes come from all over the world and different countries have mangoes that are unique to that country? We might hear of popular countries that grow mangoes like India, maybe Florida mangoes, and some other places around the world, but there are other smaller places around the world that have their own unique mangoes as well. One of those places is the island of Haiti in the Caribbean, and they have what I would consider myself the most popular mango I see when I go into stores in local bodegas in New York or here in Florida. They're very stringy, long mangoes that I absolutely love, but I hate the fiber. But I've been eating those for years, and they're probably the least expensive mangoes out there. And what I found out is every time you go to get a Haitian mango from the average store, even though it's not labeled organic, I can't confirm this for sure. I should have asked Alex, but they are 100% organic because they can't afford all the bug spray and everything else. That's what I heard. So when you go to buy a Haitian mango in the store, you're pretty much getting an organic mango. And so I love getting Haitian mangoes. They're just so juicy and delicious. They're just not fiberless, so that's a challenge. Now, the thing with the Haitian mango is, though, I always thought there was just one long one with a lot of strings. And I was talking to Alex at Tropical Acres Farms. It's a mango farm with over 300 varieties of mangoes. And I was asking him about Haitian mangoes. And I just thought there was only one, maybe two. But he told me there's about 4 or 5 that are very popular and known to that country. And he had 4 of them. So we're going to look today at this video and we're going to talk about the 4 Haitian mangoes that Tropical Acres Farm has. If you're a Haitian, you're going to love this. If you're not, these are still exciting mangoes to know about and try. And I'm excited. These are mangoes from Vietnam, actually, in front of me here. And just about every tree represents another country, so that's really cool. I had a Haitian mango tree, but I actually got rid of it because I didn't have a lot of space. And I can get those at the store any day when they're in season. So I didn't want to waste space with a mango I couldn't get. So I planted one that I can't get at the store. But they are delicious. They're organic. They're cheap. They're very inexpensive. I definitely recommend them. But learn about these because there's 4 different kinds. And we're going to learn about these today. The one I was discussing and the one I'm always seeing everywhere is called Madame Francis. Madame Francis. That's the Haitian mango that I'm typically seeing that have a lot of strings. Turned out there are these 3 other ones that Alex has, and there's 4 altogether. And here we go with Alex at Tropical Acres Farms.
Okay. Today we're talking about mangoes from Haiti specifically, and the first one we're going to talk about today is Madame Blanc. So Madame Blanc is a variety that was selected in Haiti a very long time ago. It's been there many, many decades because a lot of older Haitians actually will ask for it. And it's not a very colorful mango. The name would suggest that it's actually a white mango, and it actually turns like a very light green, and then it will turn yellow sometimes here when it ripens. Out west, it would just stay green. It didn't really turn yellow. But here in West Palm Beach, it will get some light yellow color, kind of a faded yellow. But it gets a little bigger than this. This tree flowers very easily here, as you would expect, being that it's from Haiti and it doesn't really need like very cold weather to get it to bloom. So we get fruit off of this tree pretty much every single year. It's not as big as it would be, but we would grade it probably as like a moderately vigorous tree. It's certainly not super vigorous, but what happened was this Madame Blanc tree was growing underneath a very large Eldon mango tree before, and that kind of shaded it out. So it didn't grow as quickly as it could have, and some of the neighboring trees are a little larger consequently, even though they were planted actually at the same time. So this mango has what we would call a classic mango flavor. It's got some fiber to it. It's not fiber free, but it's not super fibrous. It's probably a milder classically flavored mango, if I'm being honest. But there are people, and it's not the most popular mango in Haiti, that would be the Madame Francis or Francique. But there are people in Haiti that are very fond of this because they grew up with it or they had a tree in their yard or whatever. And I've had Haitian customers like buy the whole tree before. So it does bear pretty well. This is actually one of the best crops it's ever had. Probably the best crop it has ever had, actually. So it's got dozens and dozens and dozens of fruit. In fact, I have to prop up some of them off of the ground here. And it's actually a mid-season mango here. It usually ripens in like later June and July, and rarely earlier than that. And what else can I say about it? I don't love it that much, but there are people who like it, and so that's why we keep it around, mostly actually to sell trees and budwood. The fruit is very, very specific to Haitian customers that ask for it, but there's mango collectors that want to plant this too that we produce the trees for. But like I said, not as popular as the Madame Francis, which we'll talk about in a moment.
Is there any idea what this is a seedling from, or the
No, but I do know it's polyembryonic, so it should grow true from seed most of the time. Not that I've necessarily tested it out to see if they came up true or whatever, but it does have a polyembryonic seed, which is true of, I think, pretty much all the Haitian mangoes are polyembryonic.
Interesting. So there's no suspect of what the parenting might be.
No, I mean, it could be that it's related to Madame Francis, for example, but they don't taste the same. They actually taste relatively different. I have no idea. It's definitely been around a long time. You can imagine that when mangoes were introduced to Haiti, like probably by the French back in the 16th century or something like that, or maybe 17th century, I should say, they were bringing mangoes over from different parts of the world, but like the Indian Ocean area specifically, perhaps. And there was probably a lot of intermingling of genes. So even though it's polyembryonic, the flavor is not like Thai or Southeast Asian. It's actually more classically flavored, which is true of the turpentine mango too, which also has a very complex history. So who knows what its parents may have been or what it might be related to. If you did a DNA analysis, you might be able to elucidate that. But
sure. Anyway. I know in the Caribbean, there's a lot of people that eat mangoes with their skin on it, and you do as well. Have you had the skin on this?
Yeah, it has edible skin. Yes, I've eaten the skin on this mango.
What do you think about it?
It was fine. I mean, like I don't eat this mango too often. We've certainly sold it in the past, but I don't really ever receive any feedback on it, other than like those few Haitian customers that really like it, because they had one in their yard when they
if you and I went to Haiti and walked around, what are the chances we see it?
We would definitely see it. Okay. We would encounter this mango in Haiti for sure. Now, is it as common as Madame Francique? Probably not, but it is probably more common than one of the other varieties we'll see later, the Baptiste. Okay. So I know it's more common than that one. I don't know I think Corne, which we'll talk about later, might be a little more common than this one too. But we would almost certainly find trees of this in Haiti if we were to visit.
All right.
For sure. Okay.
Alrighty.
So we're talking about mangoes of Haiti, and I'm standing in front of our Madame Francique or Madame Francis tree. Sometimes when you see it in the nursery trade here, this mango will be spelled Frances or CIS, but we're talking about the same mango. Okay, they're not different. And in Haiti, they usually call it Madame Francique. So it is the most popular mango in Haiti, and it is the most widely grown mango in Haiti. In fact, they grow this on a commercial scale in parts of Haiti and export it to the United States. So sometimes you will see this at ethnic grocery stores like Presidente. Sometimes you'll even see it at stores like Whole Foods or Publix. And it will sometimes be marketed under different names. Sometimes they'll just call it Haitian mango or Haitiano mango if it's at Presidente. Other times they'll call it banana mango, I think. Anyway, we're talking about the same mango here, bottom line. It's a yellow mango at maturity. Turns like a standard yellow color, doesn't really get red or pinkish blush. It's a medium-sized fruit, and has kind of a flat shape. You can see that here. It doesn't really round up too much. And it's shaped a little bit like Malika, I suppose. And they have a little bit of fiber in them, and sometimes that little bit of fiber can become a considerable amount of fiber depending on the conditions they're grown in. And I've found the imported ones can be very fibrous, and I've found that examples of Madame Francis grown in Florida vary in fiber depending on the soil conditions locally and how much nitrogen they're receiving. So when they're on the lighter side, the fiber's not too bad. Like, it's there, but it's not like you're going to object to it necessarily. The flavor is, I used to classify it incorrectly, I believe, as a classically flavored mango, but it's really actually got more of an Indo-Chinese flavor to it, I think. And it's a relatively richly flavored mango, and pretty aromatic too. It has kind of a big seed, but it's not like a terrible flesh to seed ratio like a Fairchild or something like that. And it is also polyembryonic. So in Haiti, it's common to grow this mango from seed because it comes true to type most of the time. So here I would grade it as like a moderately productive mango. There's examples of trees that are more heavier producing, and I would imagine in its native country it probably produces a little bit more regularly. I think here in Florida it can be a little prone to anthracnose, especially when you go inland. I used to grow this variety in Loxahatchee and actually had a couple of them, not just one. And it certainly could get anthracnose. It would produce out there, but it would certainly see quite a bit of fungus. So if you're here in Florida and you're interested in growing this variety, you might want to be like somewhere that's within like let's say less than 8 miles from the ocean or something like that to consider this in your yard, because otherwise you'll probably need to spray it a lot. But anyway. It's got like a moderately vigorous growth habit, somewhat open canopy. Paul, if you focus in here, you'll be able to see all the fruit up in this part of the canopy. It's actually doing pretty good. It usually flowers very easily here. In fact, we almost always get at least 2 blooms from Madame Francis, which is nice. What else can I say about this variety? It is really kind of more of an early season mango here, I would say. Early to mid, but definitely not like a standard mid or later season mango, so we'll call it an early season. Usually for us, we've got this mango in June, sometimes later May. This fruit probably won't start to ripen until, I'm going to say, the early part of June this year.
In Haiti, is the season the same as it is here?
I think so. I think the mango season is roughly similar to ours, but they also will have mangoes, I think, in different parts of the year because they'll flower off of drought stress sometimes. And this is true also in Jamaica too. But I can't say that for certain because I've never been to Haiti and I haven't had too many conversations with people about how the Haitian mango season is compared to ours in terms of like when it starts and ends typically, when it's at its peak. But I know in Jamaica it's roughly the same as here, and I believe it's pretty much the same in Cuba too. So it's probably pretty similar in Haiti.
And have you tested the bricks on this one?
Yes. Usually it's in the I would say the like mid to higher teens. I've never gotten them in the 20s though. It's like a teens for bricks.
It is very sweet. It's
a sweet mango fibers. For sure. The fiber is what turns people off. Yeah. Ours usually don't have too much fiber, but we're not feeding them any nitrogen, and our soil is pretty low in nitrogen. But I remember I had a friend that lived out down in Davie that had at least one of these, and I used to get, or at least on a few occasions, I got some fruit from him, and it was very different in terms of the fiber content. It was significantly, noticeably higher. So this is certainly true with some other varieties as well, where if you feed them nitrogen or they're growing in nitrogen-rich soil, they end up with more fiber in the flesh. So another good reason to withhold nitrogen from producing mango trees. Okay, so we're talking about mangoes of Haiti. Next to me here is a corn mango, or sometimes called Madame Corne mango. When the Haitians say it, it's like con. Or corn. I'm not great at pronouncing it, but anyway. So here's the thing about this mango. In southern Haiti, I believe this mango goes by the name corn. In northern Haiti, I've heard they call it Jean Marie. But it's the same mango. Now in northern Haiti, apparently they have a mango they call Corne that has more of a hooked look to it. This is just from conversations with people that are from Haiti. So it kind of depends on which part of that country you're from in terms of what you will call this mango. But it is certainly very common throughout Haiti. We actually have two of these here. So one of them we planted as a Corne, and the other one was planted as a Jean Marie, which we got from the USDA. And then we later realized that it was the same thing. And if we had known that at the time, we would have only planted one. But anyway, this is a super productive mango for us. It pretty much fruits well every year here. No surprise. Both trees. So this is the larger and the older one, but the younger one fruits very well also. And it usually just kind of turns yellow, but it will get like a little pinkish blush on the top. They're not a big mango. They get bigger than this, but a lot of times not much longer than this. Here's a bigger specimen here. It has a classic mango flavor. So what does it taste like? Probably tastes like a turpentine mango, like what we would call turpentine here. In fact, I remember Gary Zill saying to me once that he thought this was related to turpentine. It is fibrous, at least moderately fibrous, sometimes very fibrous, but I'll eat them, and they are pretty sweet. They're better than Madame Blanc, at least to me. The one thing I'll say about it in terms of location, it did get a lot of anthracnose and Loxahatchee when I grew it out there. Like, I don't know if I even got fruit from it out there. I probably got some, but here it does quite well. And I've seen them in the area. So, like, I've seen corn trees in people's yards. It is polyembryonic, of course, so it should grow true to type most of the time. And what else can I say? It gets some bacterial black spot, but I don't think it's, like, super prone to that disease. It gets a lot of post-harvest anthracnose. So does Madame Francis, too, by the way. So when you get a ripe one, as it ripens, it almost always spots up with anthracnose, but it's usually perfectly fine. They tree ripen pretty well, too. So it's not one of those mangoes that you got to pick it green or whatever. You can let this mango ripen on the tree, and it still tastes good. And that's about everything I can think about it. Moderately vigorous tree, dense canopy.
Well, what about the name Corne? I mean,
I don't know. I don't really know where that name came from. They have another mango over there that's kind of fibrous called the Phil, F-I-L, Feel. I don't know. I don't grow that mango. I've never tried it, but it might be related. I'm not sure. But I don't know where its name came from. Certainly it's been in Haiti a pretty long time. I do know, like I said, that they call it Jean Marie in other parts of Haiti. So there's little regional differences there. Okay, this mango here is our Baptiste mango tree. And this is another variety from Haiti. Not as common in Haiti, but a lot of Haitians have still heard of this mango. This one has a very different flavor from the other ones that we've talked about. It actually has an Indian, West Indian type flavor, but there's a caveat. It's not entirely Indian West Indian because it has a little bit of what we'll call vegetable component to it. Many people ascribe the flavor of carrot to Baptiste mango, and when it's on the less ripe side, it's very firm. It's one of the least juicy mangoes that I've ever grown. So almost, I won't say the flesh is dry, but it's just you cut one of these open and there's just not a lot of juice. But it's not very fibrous either. In fact, it's the least fibrous of the Haitian mangoes that we happen to grow here. But it does have a polyembryonic seed. So it's got kind of a slower growth habit than the other Haitian mangoes as well, and very kind of distinctive, somewhat thin leaves. You can see it on this tree here.
almost like an ice cream.
A little bit like ice cream mango or Mom Passan or something like that. Or Pettigrew or one of those, you know, very thin, not very long leaves either. But unlike those varieties, this has kind of a vertical growth habit. So you can see how it kind of wants to grow straight up instead of horizontally. And what else can I say about it? It hasn't been quite as productive as the other ones, but it usually produces pretty well. This is actually one of the weaker crops it's had in several years. Typically we get plenty of mangoes from this, but not as heavy a producer as the corn that we were just looking at. Anyway, like I said, kind of an odd flavor that a lot of people don't appreciate, but there are people that do like it. It's just a small number. It just turns yellow. It does not turn red at all. So just kind of a standard yellow color and kind of an oval shape. Yeah, there's kind of fruit on the outside of the canopy here, not a lot inside of it. What else? So it's not too bad about post-harvest anthracnose. The fruit tends to be quite clean, and it's resistant to bacterial spot as far as I can tell. But I do remember when I grew this in Loxahatchee, the flowers of this tree were really prone to anthracnose, like super prone to anthracnose. And I had a hard time getting intact fruits off of it out there. Of course, we don't really have too much of an anthracnose problem here, so we can get it to fruit. But if you're in a really humid area, this isn't a great choice. And what else? I don't really know where the name came from. You know, I can see why it's not quite as popular in Haiti because it tastes different from those other varieties, like significantly different from those other varieties. But it does have some fans. I'd call it like a milder Indian West Indian type flavor when it's full ripe.
So give us an example of what one of the popular mangoes that you sell from other countries it would taste like.
It's a little similar to it's a little similar to Extrema, I suppose, when it's dead ripe, which is not a popular variety either. People are going to hate me for this comparison, but I suppose like there's a little bit of Rosa to it. Like Rosa is a variety from Brazil. That's like what I would grade as a milder Indian, West Indian type flavor. So there's some resin in this mango, right? But it's not super strong. It's not super sweet either. But it also has like a mix of, people are going to think this thing sounds terrible. And for some people, it is terrible. But you got to, I guess, try it before you knock it. It has a vegetable component in it that you will sometimes find in Thai varieties. So, and there's... yeah, I mean, like, definitely a little bit of carrot or parsnip or something like that. I would say more carrot. So
it's not too sweet.
No. I mean, it has some sweetness. All mangoes do, right? But this is like something with the bricks that on a good day, it's like in the mid-teens probably, right? Never going to be like in the 20s. And so it's interesting and it's unique. And there's enough demand for it that we keep one tree around. We don't really need more than one.
So if a Haitian came to your farm and they tried these several varieties we spoke about, would they pretty much know the difference of them? Yeah,
some of them do. I mean, the ones that are like more into mangoes, that are like enthusiasts or whatever, they have heard of all of these. Now, people that are more casual mango eaters, maybe they only heard of Madame Francis and Blanc, or only Madame Francis. They've all heard of Madame Francis because like that's the most popular, well-known. It's like the national mango of Haiti, right? But some of them have only heard of a couple. But there's a decent amount that know all of them, and they'll even rattle off the names of a few others that they have kind of locally there in Haiti. And I believe they have turpentine, for example, what we call turpentine, what they call stringy in Jamaica. I think they have that in Haiti too. But we don't get a ton of Haitian customers. We get a lot more of the many other ethnic groups, of course. So we get some. And yeah.
Now, what about the leaves? I know in the United States people don't do much with the leaves, but they can. But in the Caribbean, I would assume they do a lot more with the rest of the tree. Do you know if they do anything with the leaves?
I've never heard of them using the leaves for anything in the Caribbean. Not that I don't want to speak on behalf of other people because somebody else can chime in and say, well, yeah, they use it. But not that I know of. I think the leaves are certainly used a good bit in in India. Like they use them in ceremonies and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you got for the Haitian mangoes?
That's all our Haitian mangoes. We only have 4 varieties from Haiti, at least at this time. And I don't really know of a source for any more.
Are there a lot more on the island, or just a few?
There's certainly more. Like these are definitely, I think these 4 are the most well-known. And the fill that I talked about is probably in the top 5 as well in terms of like mango varieties that are grown there. They probably grow some Florida varieties and some of their commercial orchards too, I would imagine. You know, but among those that are indigenous to Haiti, these are the most common.
Now, Haiti shares an island with Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have many mangoes from Dominican Republic?
We only have one from the DR. It's called Banilejo, and the tree looks so sad and sorry that I don't even want to put it on camera. It's always struggled. It's just probably just a bad tree. We have to give it a lot of nutrients just to keep it alive. So what I need to do is I need to take some material off that tree and top work a different, like a stump into it. And that way I've got plenty of budwood and I can actually start to see it fruit, because that Banilejo tree has actually never even fruited for us. I think it's flowered before.
Have you tasted the fruit off another tree? Or?
Yeah, I guess I have had it, but it wasn't necessarily the best specimen. They do export them to the U.S. Actually, they export one called Mangolo now, which is derived from the Banilejo. So this mango is called Mangolo, and it's like yellow. And sometimes you'll see that at markets, and I've had that, and that not very good to me, but there's some people that like it. But anyway, our only Dominican mango is the Banilejo, and I'm planning this year to top work a stump into Banilejo using budwood from that tree, and then I'm just gonna get rid of that tree and plant something else there.
Are there any other well-known, I mean, I know there's a lot of unknown, but are any other well-known mangoes in the Dominican Republic? Like if you went there, what's the most popular variety out there?
The most popular variety is probably the Banilejo, but in terms of, is there other mangoes there? Yes, because they've been trialing like other varieties. For example, somebody planted a lot of Kesar mango in the Dominican Republic, which of course is from India. And apparently they've introduced other Indian mangoes there too. And I know they have some American mangoes as well. So I've never been to the Dominican Republic, so I've not like gone around, looked at their mango trees or toured their commercial acreage or anything like that. I've just spoken to people that have been there, and so I wouldn't be able to do like a mangoes of Dominican Republic video. But
well,
I know
we got Haiti, the whole island of Dominica, because we got Dominican Republic.
There's Cuba, of course. We have a number of Cuban mangoes. And we've got Jamaica, and we've got Trinidad, which shares a few of those mangoes. And there's a few other Caribbean islands that have mangoes as well, like of their own, but we don't necessarily have them here. So we can talk about those.
All right, each country will get, and we'll figure it out. Okay. But thank you very much, man. Everybody, check out Alex. His website's below. You can get all these mangoes when in season from his farm and online. And he sells the budwood, and also he sells the trees if anyone knows anyone who wants one. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. That was Alex at Tropical Acres Farms. His link I'll put below if you want to get those Haitian mangoes or any mangoes or learn about mangoes from all over the world. Definitely go and check out the 300 varieties plus varieties he has at his farm in Tropical Acres Farms here in West Palm Beach, South Florida. Link is below to all that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great day. And if you have growing trees from anywhere around the world and you live in South Florida, you'd like me to come and feature on the show, contact me. The link is in the email link is in the description. Until then, everybody, have a great day and keep growing.